The old version of you said to tell the new version of you to stop trying to compete with her. Let me tell you why you're struggling with becoming. Because you're still trying to be who you were. This is an epiphany I had yesterday, and it has been life-changing and mind-blowing. So I'm on day 15 of this visibility challenge where I have shown up for myself every day on camera, rambling and just trying to talk my way through what is the point. And yesterday, I realized, this is a major realization, that I have been trying to be who I was. And that season of who I was is gone. And now that I realize, let me tell you the backstory. So everything that I built as Takia LaShawn. LaShawn, I think I explained in a video before, LaShawn is my middle name. So it's not like this alter ego or anything like that, but it is my middle name. And everything that I built was Takia LaShawn International. And then underneath that, it was an umbrella to everything under that. Takia LaShawn Salon, Takia LaShawn Design, Takia LaShawn Ministry, Takia LaShawn TV and media, Takia LaShawn fashion, just everything was Takia LaShawn. And recently I feel like the Lord has been telling me to reintegrate, or that wasn't the word I had yesterday, to just not even go back. What was the word? It starts with an R, but rebrand myself as Takia L. Smith. Takia Smith, basically. Smith is my last name, which I dropped when I started using Takia LaShawn years ago. And so I've picked back up using Takia L. Smith so that the L still makes sense for like, okay, this is the right Takia. But I realize God has been, because I've been wondering, like, God, why are you telling me to use Takia L. Smith? I'm the same person. Why are you telling me to pick up Smith again? And in this journey and in this process, I realize He has been trying to get me to see that the two are separate. Who I was in that season of doing all that building, stick with me because I'm going somewhere. This is really cool. Who I was in that season of building and building and building, while it was successful, I was in survival mode. Everything that I was building was based out of doing what an entrepreneur does, is we are good at solving problems. We give solutions to problems for a mass amount of people. That's what true entrepreneurship is. And I was good at that, but I started out with being good at doing it for myself. Every obstacle that I needed to overcome, every business that God gave me to birth out was a solution to a problem in my life. And every last business that I built was based out of fight or flight survival mode. And while I was killing it, it was because I needed to just figure it out. And those businesses were basically coping mechanisms. Okay. That was me, one, not being able to sit still and sit with myself because I had a family, I had children to raise, and I had to keep a roof over our head. And so it was one, me not being able to sit with myself. But then when it got to the place where I could sit with myself, it was coping mechanisms because I don't want to sit with myself. Not realizing that I want to sit with myself, but you keep busy to dull the pain or silence the noise, or it was productivity. And again, it was super productive, but I realized who I am now is I'm not in survival mode. I'm no longer in survival mode. I'm in a different phase and place of my life. And Takia L. Smith is oh man, I hope I'm making sense. Like I tried to record this yesterday when I had the moment and the epiphany, but then I ran out of storage and had to go clean up space, and then I just was over it. But the woman that I am now and I'm becoming, and that's why I've been struggling with trying to figure out, what do I do with my life now, or trying to build businesses again or build off what I had built. I walked away from all of that stuff and it's done. I'm not supposed to turn around and reach back for what I already did. There's a new thing. Oh my gosh. There is a scripture, but I'm having this moment as I'm speaking about how this word was spoken over me a couple of months ago. And this scripture just keeps coming up that says, can't you see it? Look, I'm doing a new thing. So what I am saying to you out there is, some of you may be in this season of, whether you stepped away or you're stepping away, make sure that you're not trying to compete with the older version of yourself. That's what I've been trying to do. I have been struggling to figure out, what do I do next, because the old version of me that did it all, number one, I'm not her, but number two, let me tell you, baby, she was fire. Takia LaShawn built some businesses, she built some brands, she overcame, built a nonprofit, all the things. And that's just not who I am anymore. And who I am now was trying to compete with that woman, that version of who I was. And I was good with her for the time that I needed her. But now life is slower. Life is more peaceful. I'm not in survival mode. I don't have to, the kids are adults now, with a kid of their own. They're out of the house. I was competing. I was struggling with trying to pick back up who I was. And this new version of me can't compete with that old version of me, because I'm becoming a different version of who I need to be in this phase and in this season of my life. Does that make sense? It was difficult because I was trying to compete with someone that I'm not. And I don't know, I hope I'm making sense, because it was mind-blowing for me. It was liberating and freeing for me. I hope I'm making sense for somebody out there. But just by saying to not compete, stop trying to compete with who you were. You know what it makes me think of? When some people get stuck there, when you have someone who's like, I'm just, like 50 or 60. I'm about to be 50, so I'm not targeting anyone. But let's say I still I keep reliving my heyday. You have that person that, they're like 60 or 70 and they're retired, but they're constantly going, yeah, in my heyday, I played sports and I won this award and I won that award and I was the most athletic and I was the fastest on the team. There's nothing wrong with that. But when they get stuck in that cycle and they're still kind of in that place of regretting that they're not they haven't, progressed to who they're supposed to be, because they're still reaching back and trying to relive. And I realized that yesterday. I've been trying to compete and keep up with that version that I no longer am. And so it helps me to move forward and be okay with, I'll give you another example. Like, I look in the mirror and I believe I'm a beautiful woman. I know I'm a beautiful woman. Ain't nobody got to tell me. But I look in the mirror some days and I'm like, I see like this puffiness, or my eyes look tired, or there's some little aches and things going on. And it's like, and I look at pictures of who I was when I was younger and I'm like, how do I look like that again? I'm not going to. Now, do your beauty treatments and all that. I believe in that. I believe in staying, I used to say, this is date myself. I don't know if people still use this, but back in the day with the Olive Olay commercials, we intend to fight it every step of the way or something like that. I used to say, when I get older, baby, I'm going to be Olive Olay. I'm going to fight it every step of the way. But there's this beauty in maturing. There's this beauty of reaching this phase of life that I'm in. And I am just learning to embrace it all. So it's no different with what I'm talking about. Again, it's just stop trying to compete with that other version of you that you're not. Tell me if I'm making sense in the comments. I know that I'm making sense to me, but I really hope that I conveyed something that makes sense to you. Tell me in the comments what version of you that you need to stop competing with.